Hey, welcome back to Just a Number. We took a week off. So today we're going to start with something simple. Most of us grew up thinking about income as one thing, one job, one paycheck. But there's a whole other way to look at it, especially right now when a lot of people are rethinking what financial stability actually looks like for them. So we're going to talk about what it looks like to build multiple streams of income, what the real options are, what each one involves, and how you can start figuring out what might make sense for you where you are right now. So this is going to be a broad overview. It's not a step-by-step plan, but my goal is that by the end of this, you have a better picture of what's possible and some real direction on where to start doing your own research. And I mean that literally. Part of what I want to do today is show you that the research you need is all around you. You just have to know what to look for. Hi, I'm Trish, and this is Just a Number, the podcast for women 40 and up who are ready to stop waiting and start building from everything they already know. Part business, part unlearning, part confidence reset. Because you're not starting over, you're evolving with intention. We're talking lived experience, career wisdom, passions, and hard-earned perspective, turned into content, courses, and offers that actually help people. We're not here to play by the rules. Let's build boldly, teach what we know, and make it count. Welcome to Just a Number. Before we dive in, I want to address something directly because I think it gets overlooked a lot or misunderstood. I'm sure that you've heard the term passive income. The idea that you set something up once and then the money just magically rolls in while you sleep, while you're on vacation, without you really having to do much of anything. And that's just not really how it works. Nothing is truly passive. Every income stream you build requires you to create something, put it in front of people, and maintain it over time to some degree. Now, the work looks different depending on the type of offer, but the work is still there. And I think it does people a real disservice when that part gets glossed over, because then you build something and when it doesn't run itself, you think you did something wrong. You didn't. That's just how it works. Now, there is a version that's really appealing and absolutely possible, and that's the idea of an evergreen offer. Something you build once that you can sell on repeat without recreating it every time somebody new buys it. And that's great. But you still have to drive people to it. So this may mean running ads or posting about it consistently. It might mean showing up in places where your audience is already spending time. None of that happens automatically. The same goes for every other income stream we're going to talk about today. There is always going to be some level of effort involved in building it and growing it and keeping it going. Now, when you know that going in, you can plan for it. And more importantly, you can stop waiting for some version of this that requires nothing from you. Because honestly, I don't think that version exists. Okay. With that said, let's talk about what your real options are. If I had to point someone toward a starting place, it would be digital products. Courses, templates, guides, workbooks, ebooks, things of that nature. So anything that you can create once in a digital format and sell repeatedly without having to recreate it for each buyer. Now, you've almost certainly encountered these. Maybe you've downloaded a free guide somewhere and then been offered the opportunity to take a paid course. Maybe you've bought template packs like Canva templates, spreadsheet templates, social media kits. Or maybe you've enrolled in an online course through a platform like Thinkific or Teachable. All of that falls under the digital product umbrella. What makes digital products such a natural starting point is that the barrier to entry is lower than most people think. You don't need a huge audience. You don't need a big team to support it or have a lot of overhead. You need something valuable to teach or share, a way to package it so someone can access it on their own. The evergreen piece is what makes this so appealing. So once the product exists, it exists. You can sell the same course or template to someone 2 years from now that you sold today without delivering it fresh every time. So that's what people are actually pointing at when they talk about passive income. Not that you do nothing, but that you're not starting over with every single sale. Digital products also give you a ton of flexibility in terms of price point. So you can have something at a lower price point that's easy for people to say yes to, and something more comprehensive at a higher price point. That range is actually one of the ways that you can build multiple streams within a single topic area. So here's where I want you to start doing some research. Go to Etsy or something similar and search for digital templates. And don't just search in your niche. I want you to look across categories. Search for things like meal planning templates, resume templates, party planning printables, jewelry making guides. What you're looking for isn't the specific topic. You're looking at how these offers are structured. What's included? How is it described? Are they leading with a problem someone has, or are they leading with the solution? How are they pricing it? What does the listing tell you about who it's for? Then go to like creativemarket.com and do the same thing. Creative Market tends to skew toward like design assets like fonts, templates, branding kits, but the principle is the same. You're training your eye to recognize what a well-positioned digital product looks like, what information it includes, and how the seller is talking about what they're offering. That's research you can do right now for free without needing to buy anything. The next category is coaching and consulting. Now, these two often get used interchangeably, but they're actually a little different, and understanding the distinction matters because it affects how you'd structure and sell each one. Consulting is generally more targeted and outcome specific. So think about a business consultant who may get brought in to help a company streamline their operations or solve a specific problem. There's a defined goal, and the consultant is applying their expertise directly to help them reach it. It tends to be a one-on-one or a small group situation, and it's very focused on a particular result. Coaching is much broader. So a coach might work with a large group, a small group. They might run a cohort-style program where everyone moves through the material together. Or maybe they're offering a self-paced video series or course that people work through on their own time. So think about things like leadership coaching or a group program that teaches a skill set over several weeks. Both are built around your knowledge and your ability to work with people. And for a lot of us, this feels more natural than building a product, at least at first, because it's a conversation, right? It's a relationship. You're solving a real problem for a real person or group, and you can see the impact directly. The trade-off is that coaching and consulting involve more of your direct time than a digital product does. Now, that's not a problem. It's just a different kind of income stream. One-on-one consulting tends to command a higher price point because it's specific and direct. Group coaching lets you serve more people at once, which changes the math in a different way. For research here, I want you to think of a topic you're interested in and search for it plus the word consultant or coaching. Just see what comes up. Find a few people that are doing something similar to what you might want to do and look at how they're presenting their offer. How are they describing what they do? How specific are they getting? Are they speaking to a problem someone has, or are they describing a transformation? Are they being broad or very targeted? So I don't want you to copy anyone, obviously. You're just learning to read how offers in this space get positioned and what makes them compelling. Speaking and workshops are also an income stream, and I believe it gets underestimated, especially by people newer to building something online. But these can be really lucrative, and they build your credibility in a way other offers don't quite replicate. Let's start with speaking. In-person events, right? Virtual summits, conferences, panel discussions. Speaking puts you in front of audiences you might not otherwise reach and positions you as someone with real authority on your topic. Paid speaking engagements are absolutely a thing, but I want you to understand what it takes to get there. It usually doesn't just fall in your lap. You may need to pitch yourself to event organizers, or maybe you need to reach out to people that are already in your network who can possibly help open doors. Building a speaking presence takes time and intentional effort. And it helps a lot to have a body of work behind you. So something like a blog, a course, a podcast, something that shows what you know and how you show up. Workshops are a different animal and in some ways more accessible. Because you're the one creating and promoting the workshop, you actually have control over when it happens and how you drive people to it. So something like a paid Zoom workshop is a real legitimate income stream. So is an in-person workshop, a ticketed class, a conference session. For a really well-known example of this model at scale, look at MasterClass. People pay to take classes that are taught by experts on everything from writing to cooking to business. Sarah Blakely talking about how she built Spanx from scratch. Gordon Ramsay teaching how to cook. The whole premise is that if you know something well, there's an audience willing to pay to learn it from you. And you don't need to be MasterClass to apply that idea. You just need a topic, a format, and a way to get people into the room. When you're doing your research here, go to TED.com and watch a few talks. I don't want you to just watch for inspiration. I want you to actually study the structure. How does the speaker open? Do they start with a story, a question, or maybe a surprising fact? How do they move from one idea to the next? Then go to a place like Eventbrite and search for workshops in a topic area you're interested in. Look at how they're described. What's the promise? How are they pricing it? What does the event page tell you about who it's for and what someone will walk away with? So for this, you're building a mental library of what works by looking at what's already out there. And then there's brand deals and affiliate marketing. These work differently from the other streams because they involve partnering with companies or brands rather than selling something you created yourself. Affiliate marketing is probably the one that you've encountered the most, even if you didn't realize that's what it was. You know those YouTube videos or Instagram posts where someone is walking you through what drugstore makeup to buy, right? So what to buy, what to skip, maybe a demo. Here's what I actually think about this product. A lot of those creators are earning affiliate commissions every time someone buys through their link. They've built an audience that trusts their recommendations, and that trust is what makes the affiliate relationship work. Affiliate marketing can work across all kinds of niches, everything from tech tools, books, kitchen gadgets, business software, literally anything where you have a real opinion and an audience that cares what you think. But the same principle applies no matter the topic. You have to drive people to that link. You're creating content, you're building trust, and you're actively putting the recommendation in front of people on an ongoing basis. The commission doesn't earn itself. Brand deals go a step further. This is where a company pays you directly. Sometimes it's a flat fee, sometimes there's a combination of fee and commission to feature or talk about their product. You hear this on podcasts all the time lately. Someone will say, "This episode is brought to you by," and then spends a minute or so talking about a product they use. You see it on YouTube and Instagram, where creators are clearly in a paid partnership with a brand. Brand deals tend to be more accessible once you've built some kind of audience or content presence. And you don't necessarily need hundreds of thousands of followers, but you do need to have something, right? A community or a platform, an engaged audience that makes the partnership valuable for a brand. So if you enjoy posting and you're comfortable talking about products that you like and believe in, this might be a really natural fit down the road. So here's how to research this one. The next time you're watching a YouTube video and someone's talking about a product, pay attention to how they're doing it. Are they opening with a problem and then presenting the product as the solution? Are they doing a demo? How much detail are they giving? And what details are they choosing to highlight? Then do the same thing the next time you hear a podcast ad. How is the host talking about the product? How long is the ad? And how are they connecting it to their audience? So you're not just consuming content anymore, you're studying it. And that shift alone is worth a lot. So let's zoom out for a second and talk about why any of this matters. For some of you, building multiple income streams is about adding to what you already earn. It's a second stream, a third stream, something that adds up over time and gives you more financial flexibility and breathing room. For others, you're thinking bigger than that. Maybe you've lost a job and you need to replace that income. Or maybe you're still working, but counting down the days until you don't have to be. Multiple income streams that are built with intention over time can absolutely get you to a place where what you've built online is doing what a paycheck used to do. That's not a fantasy. It takes time, it takes focus, and maybe some trial and error, but it's a real outcome. I don't know if you've seen Jessie Jean on Instagram, but she's been blowing up lately. She started her Instagram account about 7.5 months ago, talking directly to camera every day, maybe multiple times a day. She calls it yapping, and she basically yaps or talks about lots of different topics, from flipping projects that she's involved in to financial issues, why she's doing this. The point being is she continues to show up consistently. And in that 7.5 month time frame, she has built a 300,000 follower audience that's very engaged. And she recently just launched a 40-day challenge to learn how to yap. And literally in 1 week's time, she made $1 million. Not through brand deals or sponsorships, but by showing up consistently, talking about the various topics that she's interested in and wants to share with others to help others. So I just want you to think about that for a minute and how that might apply to your own situation. If you're willing to show up consistently and talk about what you know, what you have experience and expertise in, it's there to help someone else, and someone else wants to learn that. Multiple streams of income is a great way to do that. She's just a very, very inspiring example. So, your income streams don't all have to connect to one central topic or one core offer. You can have a digital product about one subject, a consulting offer about something entirely different, and an affiliate partnership with a tool you use in your own work. There's no rule that says it all has to be one cohesive package. Some people build it that way and it works beautifully. Others build a collection of separate things that each serve a different audience or purpose. Both are valid, both work. What matters is that each stream is built well, positioned well, and connected to something real. Do I want to leave you with this? The goal of today wasn't to hand you a to-do list. It was to open up the landscape so you can actually see what's out there and give you a way to keep learning just by paying attention to what you're already encountering every day. So the next time you see an ad for a course, don't just scroll past it. Click the Learn More button. Look at how it's structured. What problem is it solving? Who is it for? What's the price point and what's included? You're surrounded by examples of how people are packaging and selling what they know, and every single one of them is a free lesson in how this works. So start getting curious. Research the types of offers that feel interesting or realistic for your life right now. Look at what people in your space are already doing. Pay attention to the income streams you encounter as a consumer and notice what's working. You don't have to build everything at once, but you do have to start somewhere. And the best place to start is understanding what your options actually are. I hope today's episode gave you a clear picture of what multiple income streams can actually look like, and maybe a few concrete places to start doing your own research. If you're ready for a practical next step, my free mini course Package What You Know is a great place to begin. It's 3 short interactive lessons that walk you through mapping what you know to what you could actually sell. It's completely free, and it's designed to help you figure out what your first or next offer could be. You can find the link in our show notes. It's also in our Instagram bio and available on our website. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next episode.